welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on our authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hi, everybody. It's Christina Kitchen, author of Cotton Candy Clouds. Thank you so much for joining me today as we talk about the story behind my book. I know that you guys are all super, super busy, and I appreciate that you took this time out to be here with me to hear about my book. So my book, I wrote this book in honor of my daughter, Brianna, who at 9 years old passed away from a rare form of leukemia called early T-cell precursor acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's referred also as ETP-ALL. She was diagnosed 3 weeks after her 9th birthday, and so she went into the hospital on August 1st and passed away October 24th, 2016. So within 3 months of treatment, and she stayed in the hospital. The story, however, is based off of a story that I would tell her in the last 10 days of her life. So in the last 10 days of her life, she was the sickest child at that time in her hospital, in the children's hospital that she was in. And she was on every extraordinary life-saving machine that the hospital could provide. She was on ECMO, she was on dialysis, she had a full ventilator, 100% oxygen. She had 17 pumps with medication. A lot of it was for pain. At this point, we could no longer treat her cancer. And so her cancer was growing as she was now battling a lot of other infections and organ failures. So during this time, we were trying to get her to come back to us. And so there were 2 things that she responded to. One was her favorite song from Katy Perry, Fireworks. Katy Perry, if you are listening, thank you for giving my girl that. The other thing was the story that I told her. And I would read to her all the time. She was a bookworm. I'm a bookworm. I would read to her. I would talk to her. But the one thing that, aside from Fireworks, that I know she was listening to, because her, right, Martin, great song. I like that song too, he says. But the one thing that she would respond to is the story. With her heart rate would go up and her blood pressure would go up, just like when we were playing Fireworks. And so, sorry, these headphones are a little bulky. And so the story goes, outside of her room in the CICU, she couldn't see this, but I was telling her everything that was out there. There was a beautiful, majestic church. And when the light would hit it during the sunset, it would glow. So I would tell her that there was this majestic castle outside of her room. You could see it through the window, and it was really big and it was really warm. And all around it were these cotton candy clouds. The clouds are pink and blues and yellows and greens and purples. And through those clouds swooped in magical unicorns. And as they were swooping in and swooping around, they would take gobbles of the cotton candy clouds. So after they would swoop in and swoop around, they would then go down to the ground and they would lay there with their friends, their other magical unicorns, nibbling on cotton candy clouds. The story is that inside the castle is her family, warm, loving, supportive, knowing that, giving her the energy and the courage to know that she is strong and brave and she can get through this. Now, you're going to see a couple things throughout this book. You're going to see the coloring of the character Brianna go from super happy and glowing and twinkling eyes to pale and clearly not feeling good. But then when she finds her imagination and she knows that she's going to be okay because she found that imagination again, then she gets really glowing and happy again. And the story is not about succumbing to cancer by any means. It is a story that's supposed to be inspiring and uplifting. One of the first things that children lose when they get sick and go into the hospital is their imagination. So if they can find that courage and find that strength to get that imagination back, then I know that they're going to be able to get through this. And that's what the story is about, is to dig deep and know that you are brave. You got this. It really is hard and it sucks, but you got this. Things around you are changing. Your looks may be changing. Hair might be falling out. You might be losing weight, but you just be you and be awesome. Brianna was also the type of kiddo so she was autistic. My other two are autistic. So they see the world differently. And she wrote that she sees the world differently. But she was the type of person that found the good in the bad, the light in the dark. I tell the story all the time because it's very telling to me. She was getting picked on during recess. She loved to play like a horse romping around or a puppy dog. And the kids on the playground said that she was weird. And I had heard this from a friend. So when I picked her up at the end of the day, I said, "Hey, what happened today? You okay?" And she was just like, "Mom, I don't understand. These kids were this, 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 and this." Everything that she said was a good quality of that person. The person that said she was weird because she was doing something different, all she could see was the good. And that's the kind of person that she is. And she had so much love to give that I just want to keep giving that. I have a foundation called Brianna's Love. I started it in honor of Brianna, and we help give back to children and children battling cancer and their siblings, as well as their parents, through our various programs. We do our Give Kids a Snuggle, our Sibling Love, and our Home to Care programs. We also have ambassadors. If any of you have some kiddos who want to work with an organization and also earn service hours, we are a formal 501c3. All of the proceeds from this book will be going to Brianna's Love because I really want to help the kids. I really want to keep sharing the love that Brianna had with as many people as I can. To date, since she passed away, we have helped over 2,100 kids. And by buying this book, all the royalties that I would get from it, you are helping me help other kids because we are together giving this back to the kids. I'm not going to keep a penny of it. And if you want to donate one of these books or many of these books to kiddos who need it, then by buying this book, not only are you giving back in that sense, but then you can have the book sent directly to our mailing address, and then we will donate this book directly to kiddos who are battling cancer. I already have a couple hospital HEMONC units interested in this. We just have to make enough money to make that happen. So I would love it if you guys could help us do this. Fairgrower 748. Cotton candy is the best playground for everyone, not just for the kids. I agree. I mean, if you think of cotton candy, is there any negative thing you can ever think of? I can't. It's always fun. It's always It brings up happy thoughts. It just takes any stress away, I would think. The story is also it's based off a child with cancer, but it's also good for other kiddos. My son has severe anxiety. So if you look at this right here is her puppy. It was her Lovey since she was a tiny little thing. My parents gave it to her when she was born. We bought a second one, hoping that if that one disappeared, we would have a backup. She never took to anything but this puppy. So by the time she was 9, it stunk. It didn't matter how much I washed it. So I called it Stinky Puppy, and this is her Lovey. You are going to see throughout the book that Puppy plays a part throughout. Puppy is her courage. So Poppy will be sneaking around throughout the book. But at the end, when she finds that courage to find her imagination again, this is how she feels, right? So instead of a sword, yes, it is her puppy. So, for example, my son, it would not be puppy, it might be a sword. Whatever gives those kiddos that comfort, that is what this is about, is finding that imagination again. Fairgoer 748. No, cotton candy symbolizes sweetness and colorful. It does. It really, really does. It does symbolize sweetness and colorful. I think that everybody will have a different view on how it makes them feel, but it doesn't in my mind ever represent something negative, which is why I like it so much. And Brianna really, really loved cotton candy, so it was just very, very fitting. I like to read a little bit of the book, and if I have time, I will read the whole book. But I would also like to answer your questions as I go. So please feel free to post some questions. My stage managers is posting them so I can see them. If ever we miss questions, it's not that we're ignoring you, uh, but we will answer those later on in the week if there's ever anything we miss. So don't worry about that. Thank you so much. Keep the questions coming. On the very, very first page, it says, "This book belongs to Brianna, and now it belongs to you." I actually sold a book today to somebody who thought that the book was actually somebody else's. And she's like, I think I have somebody else's book. And I said, nope. This is the most special part of this book. This is Brianna's handwriting. I found in one of the books that she loved to read. And in every book, she used to put it that it was hers. So after she passed away, I found that, and I thought it was very important that it be a part of this book so that you could feel the love that she had, and you would be that you were loved too as you read this. So, and now it belongs to you. That's the important part. The story is Brianna's story, but now we're sharing it with you. Make it yours. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Now, my illustrator did such a fantastic job in capturing the relationship between my kids. Literally in every picture that I have of the three, they were in this order and they were always together doing this kind of things, so it was just perfect. My name is Brianna and I am 9 years old. My favorite thing in life is to play with my sister and brother. They are so special to me. They are like gold. I love the simple things in life: trees, animals, clouds, and of course, sweet and sticky cotton candy. Why do I like cotton candy so much, you may wonder? Well, that's because cotton candy is like a fluffy hug, surrounded by sweetness that sticks to everything. Cotton candy is like the love that your family shows you when you get lonely. Cotton candy sticks to your fingers and your face so that when you are done, you still have more to lick off and taste. It's like family that is always there. Let me see if I can get it this way. Always by your side, always near. One day, things changed. My body started to hurt and I felt crummy. I felt so crummy that I couldn't put anything in my tummy. I started to feel tired. I felt so tired every day. I just wanted to crawl in bed and sleep it away. I kept feeling crummy, and with nothing in my tummy, I couldn't even play during the day. I go to the hospital where the lights are so bright. I sleep more than usual at night. I hear my mommy's voice as I sleep. I wonder if it's a dream. But I hear my mommy talking to me. She is telling me all about my cotton candy field days with my cotton candy ways. When I hurt and I feel sick, I know I am safe as my mommy sits next to me and never goes away. It is then that I can go to sleep and dream about my cotton candy days filled with those cotton candy ways. Clouds, fluffy and light, floating above in the cotton candy like light. Pink and purple and blue designs, pink and purple and blue delights, all are my cotton candy clouds that I dream about at night. Cotton candy clouds make me feel so free and so light and help me get through the light. I'm sorry, and help me get through the night. Unicorns flying high, playing together, remind me of the times that I get to play with my sister and brother. Bob one. The puppies the puppy are so cute. Who's your illustrator? Thank you for that question. So the illustrator and the publisher are actually the same company. It's called Fulton Books Publishing, and I worked with their illustrators, and they basically had me fill out this whole form with all of these scenarios in it, and I had to put my heart behind each and every scene, and they came up with the coloring, and then we tweaked it, and I told them some things that were very important, like the coloring of the skin, the placement of the puppy, making sure it looks floppy, um, even the ports. These are so important to the story, and they captured it 100%. They did a really, really great job. Unicorns flying up and down, unicorns flying all around. Unicorns flying through those cotton candy cloud blues, flying so high day and night, munching on all of the fluffy cotton candy clouds in sight. And if you can notice here, she found that imagination of hers. It took her out of her scary, scary place. And while she was feeling crummy in the hospital, she was able to visit those cotton candy clouds, and her color is back in her imagination. So these are very, very big little details that I had incorporated in this book. As I sleep, I dream some more as my mommy sits next to me by the door. A majestic castle peeking through the cotton candy clouds. Heart is full, warm sun on my face, love is filling the entire place. Cancer is scary, but my castle is there. Cozy, warm, love filling the air. Treatment is hard, body still hurts, nights are long, throwing up is the worst. But when I close my eyes, night or day, those cotton candy clouds are here to stay. I close my eyes and I see happy unicorns resting with me, tails tucked, eyes closed, snuggling next to me. How lucky can I be? Across the room is my castle, standing tall and strong and always here to stay, every day. I know I am never alone. My family is always here, until together we get to go home. Being brave is so hard, but I can hear those unicorns strong and brave, swooping through the cotton candy clouds every day, bringing hope and love and showing me that I too can fly high. All I have to do is close my eyes. When treatment is too hard to bear, I hear her voice and I know mommy is there. With my heart full, I dream again of my cotton candy clouds, fluffy, pink, blue, and bright, with no fear in sight. I ride my unicorn through the sky all throughout the night. Swooping down, I peek at the sky where I see a group of unicorns flying high, showing me how being brave is possible, even at night. Sweet cotton candy clouds fill my mouth. Happiness, love, and hope is all around. I wake up from my dream. I get through another cream, another shot in another day. I am strong. I am brave. I can do this with my cotton candy cloud days. That is my book. And I really, really hope that you guys enjoy it and that there is somebody in your life that would benefit from this. Again, while this is targeted for a child in cancer, this can be applied to so many things: anxiety, other illnesses, COVID, monsters under the bed. There's just so many things that we can put a turn on this and explain it to the kiddos that, you know what, you're safe. Think about your cotton candy clouds with your favorite lovey. Find that magical castle, and you got this. You got this. Now, I did hear from my publisher that the distributor is, oh, thank you. Thank you, Bob One. This book really is an inspiration to everyone. I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I honestly wasn't sure if people would like my book. But it means a lot. And I did hear from the publisher that the supply shortages are now hitting the distributors. So it is taking a little bit longer to get the books. Normally it would be 2 to 4 days, but it's taking more like 2 weeks to get the books. So if you're interested in purchasing this for the holidays, I would recommend doing it soon so that you get it in time. Now you can find this on a lot of places. It is in Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and also 7 Barnes& and Noble stores around the DMV, specifically Maryland. You can find it at politicandpros.com in Washington, D.C. It's at target.com, walmart.com, and now booksamillion.com. I'm so excited about that. You can get it. This is the soft copy, the paperback, but there is a hard copy that is so beautiful too. And you can also get Kindle and ebooks. So there's a lot of options for you guys to get. And remember, 100% of the proceeds will go back to Brianna's Love, where we can help additional kids battling childhood cancer. And if you want one of these books to be donated to a child that could benefit from it or just love it, send it to us. When you purchase that, not only are you helping us because the money will go back to Brianna's Love, but also now you donated a book that we can then donate to a child that is ill. So thank you very, very much for that. Does anybody have any other questions? I love the question piece of this. I also, just to give you a little background of this, I was actually trying to find the words to write this book. I knew I needed to write a book about Brianna, but I just didn't have the right words to do it justice. So I sat on it and sat on it and talked to friends and talked to illustrators and talked to people, and nothing came. We always saw the presence of her if something big happened. I'm a single mom, and my kids and I, we would always find signs that she was still with us, and they were always there. If something big happened, something subtle or not so subtle would show us that she was there. And last year, I got COVID early on in March. I was sick, really sick, for about 5 weeks. And at the tail end of it, I was putting my kiddos to bed. And I was thinking how disappointed and sad I was that I didn't see her presence when I was sick. And then I thought, well, maybe it was just that I was too sick to notice. So then it was in that moment that something told me to get off my butt, go downstairs, and write this book. And during treatment, she called me a bubble butt because I would sit on her bed and it would poof her up. And for that 2 seconds, it just made her have so much fun. So it just something is almost like she was telling me, get off your bubble butt, go downstairs and write the book. And I wrote this book in 1 hour. It took the past year for publishing just because we were tweaking it and making sure everything was perfect for it. And I had been advised by some folks in the industry that, when you pitch your book to publishers, expect to get rejected multiple times. Just take a deep breath, stand up, and go to the next one. You'll eventually get picked up. And I was not brave enough to do self-publishing. So I submitted it to Fulton Books Publishing. And I was told 10 to 12 business days, they'll get back to me. or 10 to 14. And within 2 days, they're like, we have to have your book. So I was humbled. Um, Thank you for that message. How do I get through all of these trials? Honestly, there has been a lot of trials in my life around this time. My ex-husband actually, uh, so backing up 2015, my ex-husband left us, and then that was January 1st. April 25th, we had an apartment fire, and my kids and I lost everything. And that was April 25th, 2015. And then moving forward to that following year, 2016, is when Brianna got sick and passed away. So a lot of it is survival. And right now, it's just making sure that my kids are healthy and happy and thriving, and you know that we're continuing to honor and talk about Brianna, and helping other kiddos through my foundation, Brianna's Love. And I hope that someday my kiddos, Evie and Liam, will know that they are a part of something much bigger than us, that we are helping a lot of kids. We've helped over 2,100 kids so far. We just picked up 1,100 stuffed animals from PetSmart in Pasadena, Maryland. That is 1,100 more kids that we get to help. So that's how I get through it, day by day, and just trying to help as many people as I can. Well, trying to be the best mom I can, and giving my other two kiddos the best childhood that they can have, because I don't want them to feel like, this sucks, because it's been hard. But they laugh and they smile and they sing, and I go with that. So, does anybody else have any other questions? Because I would love to answer some more questions. Questions. See, I even sing kid songs in my head because my kids have so many kid songs. Um, I think that, as you go through this book, you'll definitely see different hints of courage, right? Of strength and bravery, whether it's the puppy, whether it's the glistening eyes, whether it's the color in her cheeks, the amazement of looking at the cotton candy clouds with the castle and the unicorns in the background. All of these are really, really important pieces to childhood, and being able to give imagination back, being able to give a child, that permission that they can go back deep in and say, you know what, I'm just going to retreat into my imagination that I forgot about when I got sick, because it's hard. And and this is so important. I think adults could benefit from this too, and just know that you got this, and you're going to get through it, and you are loved, and there's hope, and you're not alone. That is my thing. You got this. And even if things change, be awesome. I'm going to leave you guys with one last thought. One of the things that I tell the families, the parents going through a childhood cancer battle through my foundation. Thank you, Fairgoer 1909. You are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. That means a lot to me. One thing I tell them that I am not good at, that I need to start doing for myself as well, is have a second cup of coffee. I know that sounds funny, but the first cup of coffee a day, it's kind of habitual, right? You get up, you do what you have to do, you get your coffee, you keep going. Whether you drink it or not, you got that coffee, you do it every day. It's a comfort thing. It's just part of your routine. But the second cup of coffee is not, right? Especially when you have a child that's sick, or you have something crazy happening in your life. If you're going through something and it's just really, really hard for you, how many of us are so busy that we go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and we're just exhausted, and we're just drained, and we just need a mental break. So when you take 2 minutes for yourself, and you go and you make a second cup of coffee, or you get yourself a soft drink, or a piece of pie, or whatever makes you happy, but you get that second something, those are 2 minutes that you focused on you. Now, this is not something you actually have to consume. Who cares if you drink it or not, or eat it or not? It's just about spending those 2 minutes on yourself, to take yourself away from your struggles and whatever is happening on your life, and you just breathe. and then you go right back into it and know you've got this. Now, I say that, I know it's hard. I have I have gotten my second cup of coffee. It just sits there. And that's fine. That's the point. You may not want to drink it. It could be a cup of water. May not want to drink it, but you're focusing on yourself. And this gives you the reason to focus on yourself and get through the rest of your day. Message from Fairgoer 1968. You should be a motivational speaker. Huh, that's kind of cool. Nobody told me that before. Thank you. Um, if there is a job out there for me to do that, I am always looking for something to help me keep a roof over my kiddos' heads. So I would be happy to do that. Um, but I have no idea where to even start. But thank you. So just remember, guys, things may be hard, but it's all relative. Everybody has a story. And don't ever feel like you can't share with somebody, because everybody has their own story and it's going to be as hard to them as it is to you with your story. But just get yourself a second cup of coffee. And while you're at it, go buy my book. Remember, buying my book helps a ton of kids. And you can also check us out at briannaslove.org. It's listed on the little scroll. You can get in touch with me at info@briannaslove.org or Christina@briannaslove.org. And if you do, definitely let me know that you saw me here. That would make my day. And remember that all the proceeds do go to Brianna's Love. So I am going to get going because I hear my kiddos and I don't know what they're doing. So if you guys ever have ideas of places to promote this book or to sell this book, I am all ears. And I will also be here every day at 5 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through the end of this festival. So tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can hear me speak some more. I have the same inspiration, so don't think it's gonna get better. I'm just kidding. So, okay, thank you so much, and I hope you guys all stay safe and you have a really, really great night. And go buy my book. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.